Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. Do you translate every English sentence in your head before speaking? If yes, stop. Don't translate anymore. Why? Because it's the number one thing holding you back from fluency. When you translate, you slow down your brain. You get stuck. You forget words. You feel nervous. And worst of all, you don't sound natural. But don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Yes, that's right. We're going to train your brain, step by step, so you can speak faster, understand better, and sound more like a native speaker. So if you're tired of translating in your head and ready to speak real, fluent English, stay with me till the end. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Hidden Problem. Why translation slows you down. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 24/7. I'm Connor, and today we're talking about something every English learner goes through: translating in your head. Let me ask you, have you ever been in a conversation and someone asks you something in English and suddenly your brain just freezes? You pause. You think. You try to find the right words in your native language first, then slowly, you try to turn it into English. And by the time you're ready to speak, the moment is gone. Yes, you're not alone. This happens to so many learners, and the reason is simple. You're translating instead of thinking in English. Now here's the truth. Translation is not just a habit. It's a barrier. It's what's holding you back from becoming fluent. Think of your brain like a road. When you translate, you're taking a long, winding, bumpy road to get to your sentence. But when you think directly in English, it's a smooth highway, fast and clear. Let's talk about why this translation habit creates problems. First, it slows you down. Every time you translate, your brain is doing extra work. First, it creates the sentence in your native language. Then, it has to find the English words. Then, it has to check the grammar. It's like 3 steps for one sentence. No wonder it takes so long to reply, right? Second, translation causes confusion. Sentence structure is different in every language. What works in your native language might sound completely wrong in English. Here's a great example. In Spanish, people often say, "I have 25 years." That makes sense in Spanish. But in English, we say, "I am 25." So if you translate word for word, you say something that sounds strange or even wrong. And it's not just Spanish. This happens with French, Hindi, Arabic, Japanese, every language. Literal translation doesn't always work. That's because English has its own way of expressing ideas. And unless you start thinking in English, those ideas will always feel like a puzzle. Now, let's talk about another problem: vocabulary. When you translate, you're only looking for a match. You ask, "What's this word in English?" But sometimes there's no perfect match. Some words in your language don't exist in English. Or maybe English has a word that doesn't really exist in your language. So when you translate, your brain gets stuck. You say, "There's no word for this." And then you panic. But when you think in English, you don't look for matches. You look for meaning. You describe what you mean, and that's what makes your English sound natural. Also, translation can hurt your grammar. Why? Because grammar rules are different. In many languages, you might say, "She go to school every day." That might be fine in your language. But in English, we say, "She goes to school." So if you're always thinking in your native grammar first, then translating, your English grammar will always sound off. You might feel like you're making mistakes all the time, even if you know the rules. And that's frustrating. Here's the big point. Fluency is not about knowing more words. It's about reducing delay. It's about speaking naturally, without stopping to translate. Think about native speakers. When they talk, they don't stop to think about grammar or vocabulary. They just talk. That's what we want for you. We want you to reach that point where speaking English feels natural. Like riding a bike or brushing your teeth. You don't think, you just do it. Now, let's do a little challenge. Are you ready? Try this. Think about your morning. What did you do after waking up? Don't translate. Just say it in English. For example, you might say, "I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I made tea. I checked my phone." Easy, right? But if you're still translating in your head, this might feel hard. And that's okay. It takes time to break the habit. But this little challenge helps you notice how much you still rely on your native language. That's the first step to changing it. So let's quickly recap. Translation slows you down. It confuses sentence structure and grammar. It causes problems with vocabulary. It creates a mental delay that kills fluency. And worst of all, it's not how real English is spoken. But the good news? You don't have to keep translating. You can change this habit. And I'm going to show you how. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how native speakers think, and how you can learn to think just like them, without translating at all. This is where everything starts to change. Let's go there now. Chapter 2. The Mind Shift. Think like a native speaker. Welcome back. In the last chapter, we talked about how translation slows you down and makes English harder than it needs to be. Now, let's take a big step forward. Let's talk about something that will change the way you learn English forever, thinking like a native speaker. So, here's the truth. Native speakers don't build sentences word by word. They don't sit there thinking, subject, verb, object. Okay, now add a preposition. No, they just speak. And the reason they speak quickly and naturally is because they don't think about words individually. They think in chunks. What's a chunk? A chunk is a group of words that go together naturally. For example, how are you? I don't know. At the moment. What do you mean? These are not built word by word. These are learned and used as a whole. So if you want to sound more fluent, you have to stop building every sentence like it's a puzzle. Instead, start recognizing and using these chunks, just like native speakers do. That's the mind shift. You're not translating anymore. You're not memorizing grammar rules. You're simply using English as a tool for communication. Now here's something very important. You don't need perfect grammar to think in English. In fact, trying to make every sentence perfect will slow you down. That's what most learners do. They try to remember the grammar rule. They check if the verb tense is right. They think about the word order. And by the time they finish, the sentence is gone. But that's not how native speakers speak. Even native speakers make mistakes. They say things like, "There's lots of people," instead of, "There are lots of people." They start sentences and then change their mind. And guess what? That's totally normal. So if you're waiting until your English is perfect before you start thinking in English, you'll be waiting forever. Start now. Use what you know. Communicate. That's how fluency is built. Now let's talk about your brain. Right now, your brain is used to linking your thoughts to your native language. If you see a tree, you probably first think of the word in your language. Then, maybe you remember the English word, tree. That's translation. But what we want is to build a new path in your brain, a direct connection between your thoughts and English words. So instead of going thought, native word, English word, we go thought, English word. That's called building a mental English environment. It means your thoughts start to live in English. You hear English in your head. You talk to yourself in English. You read, listen, and think in English. Slowly, your brain gets used to it, and translation becomes unnecessary. Let's do a quick activity together. Look around you right now. Pick 3 things you can see. Now, say them in English right now. No translation. Go ahead. I'll give you a second. You might say chair, table, window. Great. Now take it a step further. Try to describe what's happening. For example, the window is open. I see a bird outside. See how easy that can be? These are simple, direct thoughts in English. You didn't translate, you just said it. And that's the power of this mind shift. Now imagine if you did this all day. Every time you saw something, every time you thought something, you said it in English, in your head. What would happen? Your brain would get faster. Your English would become more automatic. And suddenly, you're not thinking in your native language anymore. You're thinking in English. Let's be honest, this won't happen overnight. It takes time. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And here's the best part. You don't need a classroom or a teacher or a big vocabulary. You just need to start using English in your mind. So let's recap this chapter. Native speakers think in chunks, not single words. Thinking in English is about communication, not grammar perfection. You can start building a mental English environment today. Simple, direct thoughts in English are more powerful than long, perfect sentences. And most important, don't wait to be perfect. Just start. In the next chapter, we're going to take this even further. I'll show you daily habits that will help you think in English automatically, without pressure, without translation. Ready? Let's keep going. Chapter 3. Daily Habits that Build English Thinking. Welcome back. Now that you understand why translation is slowing you down and how native speakers think in English, it's time to start the real training. This chapter is where things get exciting, because I'm going to give you 6 powerful daily habits you can start using right now. No apps, no textbooks, no teacher. Just you and your brain, training every day to think in English without translation. And don't worry, these habits are simple, they're easy, and they actually work because they train your brain to build a new pathway, straight from your thoughts to English. In very simple terms, your brain works like a muscle. The more you use it a certain way, the stronger it gets. So if you keep practicing thinking in English, your brain will slowly stop relying on your native language. It's like reprogramming your brain, but gently, naturally, and with daily practice. So let's dive into the 6 habits that will help you stop translating and start thinking in English. Habit 1. Name objects around you in English. This one is so simple, you can start it right now. Just look around, wherever you are, and say the names of the things you see in English. Table, chair, laptop, phone, cup, wall. Do this throughout your day. Every time you enter a room or go outside, just name 5 or 6 things around you in English. Why does this help? Because it creates direct links between your environment and English words. Your brain stops thinking, "What's this word in my language?" and starts thinking in English automatically. Habit 2. Describe your actions out loud. This one is powerful. Talk to yourself in English as you do things. You don't need anyone to listen. Just speak. Let me show you how it works. I'm brushing my teeth. The water is cold. I'm getting ready for work. I'm putting on my shoes. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just describe what you're doing using short, simple sentences. Why does this work? Because it connects English to your real life. You're not memorizing. You're living in English. Habit 3. Start your day and end your day in English. When you wake up, think your first few thoughts in English. For example, today is Monday. I have a meeting. I feel tired. I need coffee. And before you go to bed, do the same. What did I do today? I went to the store. I studied English. I'm feeling sleepy now. This habit is small, but it sets the tone. It tells your brain, hey, we're doing this in English today. Habit 4. The 5-minute no translation challenge. Here's a fun one. Every day, set a timer for 5 minutes and challenge yourself to only think in English. No native language, no translation, just English. Even if you don't know a word, don't stop. Try to explain it in English. For example, if you forget the word ceiling, you can say, the top part of the room. It's not about being perfect. It's about keeping your thoughts in English. Try it today. Just 5 minutes. You'll be surprised how much you can do. Habit 5. Keep a simple English journal. At the end of your day, write 2 to 3 sentences in English about what you did or how you feel. For example, I studied for my exam. I watched an English video. I feel more confident today. Don't worry about grammar. This is for you. It helps you reflect in English and build thinking habits on paper. Habit 6. Use English during routine tasks. Anytime you're doing something easy, like walking, washing dishes, cooking, cleaning, use that moment to think or talk in English. If you're walking to the store, think, I'm walking down the street. The sun is bright. I see a dog. Again, this is about connecting English to real life. That's when your brain starts using English as the default language. Now, let me explain something quickly in very simple brain science. Your brain has something called neural pathways, like tiny roads. Right now, most of your thoughts travel down the native language road. But every time you use English, every single time, you are building a new road in your brain. At first, it's small and weak, but with practice, that English road gets stronger, faster, and smoother. And soon, your brain starts choosing English first, without even thinking. That's how fluency happens. So let's recap the 6 daily habits. 1. Name objects around you in English. 2. Describe your actions out loud. 3. Start and end your day with English thoughts. 4. Do the 5-minute no translation challenge. 5. Keep a simple English journal. 6. Use English during everyday tasks. These habits may seem small, but together, they create big results. And the best part? You can do all of this without a teacher, without a course, without an app. Just you, your daily life, and your decision to start thinking in English. Now, in the next chapter, we're going to talk about how to surround yourself with English every day, even if you live in a non-English speaking country. This is how we create total immersion at home. So stay with me, because the next part is a game changer. Let's keep going. Chapter 4. Tools that help you stop translating. Welcome back. So far, you've learned the mindset shift. You've started building strong daily habits. But now, let's give you some real support. Tools that will make this process faster, smoother, and even more fun. Think of these tools like training wheels. They help you ride until thinking in English becomes second nature. And don't worry, everything we share today is beginner-friendly and practical. You don't need to spend money or download 100 apps. Just a few smart tools and tricks can help you completely break the habit of translating. Let's start with one of my favorites. Tool number 1. English to English dictionaries. This is one of the most powerful changes you can make. Many learners still use bilingual dictionaries, where you search an English word and it shows the meaning in your native language. That's translation, and it's the habit we're trying to break. So what's the better option? Use an English to English dictionary. When you look up a word like excited, it won't translate it. It'll describe it in English. Excited, feeling very happy and enthusiastic. Now you're learning English through English, and your brain is forming direct connections, not bouncing back to your native language. Let's do a quick example. Here's what happens when you look up the word cold in a bilingual dictionary. Cold, frio, Spanish, Freud, French, lengtai, Japanese. But in an English dictionary, it says cold, having a low temperature, not warm. Boom. Now your brain understands cold without any translation. That's a big win. Tool number 2, picture dictionaries. These are amazing for beginners. Instead of using words from your native language, you connect pictures to English words. For example, you see a photo of an apple, and underneath it just says apple. No translation. This is how kids learn language. And it works for adults too. Why? Because your brain is visual. It learns faster when it sees an image and hears or says the word directly in English. Try it. It's fun and effective. Tool number 3. Language immersion tricks. You don't have to travel to an English-speaking country to live in English. You can create immersion right where you are. Here are a few simple ideas. Turn on English subtitles when watching YouTube or Netflix, but make sure they're English subtitles, not your native language. Slowly start removing subtitles as you get more comfortable. Try watching for 5 minutes with no subtitles, then 10 minutes. Build up your listening skills. Label objects around your house in English. Take sticky notes and write words like door, mirror, fridge, light switch. Every time you see those things, you're seeing the English word. No need to translate. Change your phone's language to English. Yes, the whole phone. This is a great way to train your brain to see and use English daily. Tool number 4. Shadowing technique. Shadowing means you listen to a short audio in English and repeat what you hear, at the same time or just after. It's like copying the speaker's voice, rhythm, and tone. For example, play a short clip from a podcast or a video and say the words with the speaker. If the speaker says, "I'm going to the store," you say, "I'm going to the store." Why is this powerful? Because it helps your brain and mouth work together in English. It improves your speaking, listening, and thinking all at once. Start with slow audio and build up. You can find videos made just for shadowing practice or slow podcast episodes for English learners. Tool number 5, voice note apps. This one is so simple but so powerful. Use your phone's voice recorder to talk in English every day. It could be something like, "Today is Saturday. I woke up at 8 a.m. I had eggs for breakfast. Now I'm going for a walk." Listen to it later. Hear how you sound. You'll notice things like pronunciation, fluency, and even your confidence growing. This helps your brain get used to producing English without translating first. It's also a great way to track progress. 1 week later, listen again. You'll be surprised how much better you sound. Let's talk quickly about why these tools work. When you remove translation, your brain builds a new habit, thinking in English directly. These tools give you repetition, exposure, and active practice. And remember, repetition is key. The more you hear and say the same phrases, the faster your brain learns. Think of it like going to the gym, but for your brain. Also, don't be afraid to repeat the same materials over and over. Watch the same short video 10 times. Repeat the same audio clip until you can say it with the speaker. Repetition isn't boring, it's what builds fluency. Let's do a quick recap of the tools. 1. Use English to English dictionaries to avoid translation. 2. Try picture dictionaries to connect English with images. 3. Create immersion at home, subtitles, labels, English phone settings. 4th. Practice shadowing to build speaking and thinking fluency. 5. Record your voice daily with voice note apps to track your English thinking. These are your support systems. They help you stay on track, keep learning naturally, and stop translating for good. In the next chapter, we'll go even deeper. What happens when you feel stuck? When you don't know the words, or your brain goes back to your native language? We'll talk about how to overcome the biggest challenges learners face while switching to English thinking, and how to stay consistent. Let's keep going. You're doing amazing. Chapter 5. Real-life practice. How to think in English all day. Welcome back. Now that you've learned powerful tools and daily habits, It's time for the next step, real-life practice. This is where we stop separating English from your daily life and start living with English. Let me ask you, do you only use English when you study or when you're in class? If yes, it's time to change that. Because English isn't just something to study, it's something to live with. In this chapter, I'll show you exactly how to use English while doing everyday things, like brushing your teeth, going to the store, cooking dinner, or even just walking outside. You don't need more time in your day. You just need to change the language of your thoughts. Let's start with a simple idea. Think in English during your routines. Your life is already full of habits. Making tea, doing dishes, taking a walk, and each of these is a perfect chance to practice thinking in English. Let's try it right now. I'll do a quick example, and you copy me. Ready? I'm making coffee. The water is hot. I'm adding sugar. I like sweet coffee. Now I'm sitting down. The cup feels warm in my hands. Simple, right? Nothing complicated, just short, real-life sentences about what you're doing. And guess what? You didn't translate. You just described life in English. Let's try another one. Say this with me. I'm taking the bus. It's crowded today. I see many people. Some are listening to music. I'm looking out the window. That's it. These are the exact kinds of sentences native speakers think. But now you're doing it too. You can do this anywhere, anytime. When you go outside, think, the sun is bright. I forgot my sunglasses. I'm walking to the store. In the kitchen. I'm cooking rice. It smells good. I'm chopping vegetables. At night, I'm brushing my teeth. I feel tired. I want to sleep soon. This is how you bring English into your daily life. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a study schedule. You just need to switch your inner voice to English. Now let's take it deeper. There are two very powerful times to practice thinking in English: morning and night. These two times are when your brain is the most relaxed and open. So let's use them to build your English thinking habit. In the morning, before anything else, plan your day in English. Think, today is Sunday. I will go shopping. I need to buy eggs. Later, I'll call my friend. You can even speak it out loud while getting ready. It sets the tone for your whole day. At night, reflect on your day in English. Ask yourself, what did I do today? Did I finish my work? What made me happy? You can say, I went for a walk in the park. I listened to an English podcast. I cooked dinner. It was a good day. This builds an English-speaking mind, not just an English learning habit. Let's do a quick activity together right now. Are you ready? I want you to think in English for 30 seconds. Right now. Look around you. What do you see? What are you doing? You don't have to say it aloud. Just think. I'm watching this video. I'm sitting on a chair. My phone is on the table. I feel good. I want to speak better English. Done? Amazing. That's real practice. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Here's another tip. Don't worry about big grammar rules. Think like a child learning language. Short, simple, real. I hungry. Okay. Not perfect grammar, but you thought in English. That's a win. Later, you'll naturally improve your grammar. But first, we want your brain to choose English first. Now let's imagine a full routine in English. Try this tomorrow. Wake up and think, good morning, I feel sleepy. Time to shower. While eating, this toast is crunchy. I'm drinking tea. I like breakfast. On the way to work or school, I see cars. It's a busy day. I hope it goes well. At night, I'm brushing my teeth. I watched a movie. It was fun. Time to sleep. That's it. Real English, real life. No translation. So let's recap what you learned. 1. Think in English while doing everyday activities. Walking, eating, cleaning. 2. Describe your routines in short, simple English. 3. Start your day by planning in English. 4th, end your day by reflecting in English. 5. Practice short English thinking sessions like the 30-second activity we did. This is how you train your brain to live in English, not just learn it. In the next and final chapter, we'll talk about how to stay motivated. Because yes, some days you'll feel tired, or stuck, or even frustrated. But don't worry, we'll show you how to keep going even when it gets hard. Let's finish strong. You've come so far. Let's go to the final chapter together. Chapter 6. From Habit to Fluency. Stay motivated and keep going. Welcome back, my friend. If you've made it this far, let me just say, you're already different from most learners. Why? Because you've stuck with it. You've been learning, listening, and more importantly, you've started to think differently. And that's what this last chapter is all about. Now, let's be real for a minute. Learning to think in English isn't always easy. Some days you'll feel excited, and some days, maybe you'll feel stuck. You'll forget a word, or you'll find yourself translating again. And that's okay. Let's talk about the 3 biggest challenges that can stop learners from moving forward and how to beat them. First challenge, feeling stuck. You'll have days where your mind just won't switch to English. You try to think in English and nothing comes out. That's normal. You're building a new skill, and new skills take time. What do you do on those days? Go back to simple sentences. Don't force it. Just describe what's around you. This is a chair. I see my phone. I feel tired. That's enough. Your brain still gets the practice it needs, even with small steps. Second challenge, making mistakes. Let me be very clear here. Mistakes are not a bad thing. They are proof that you're trying. And no one, not even native speakers, speaks perfectly all the time. Let me tell you a story. A student of mine, her name was Elena, used to freeze every time she tried to speak. She was so afraid of saying something wrong. But I gave her one rule. Speak anyway, no matter what. 1 month later, she was talking to herself in English every day. She still made small mistakes, but her confidence was sky high. And that's what matters. Fluency is not about perfection. It's about confidence and flow. So when you make a mistake, don't stop. Smile. Keep going. Say, I'm learning. I'll get better. Third challenge, losing motivation. Yes, this happens, especially after a few weeks when the excitement starts to fade. You might feel like you're not improving, but trust me, you are. Progress is slow. You won't always see it day by day. But it's happening. Want proof? Try this. Right now, say a few sentences in English about your day. Go ahead. Now think back to 1 month ago. Could you have done that then? If the answer is no, then guess what? You've grown. Even if it's just a little, that's a win. You're not starting from zero anymore. You're on your way. And to help you stay motivated, I have something special for you. The 7-day Think in English Challenge. Here's how it works. Day 1. Name 10 objects around you in English. No translating. Day 2. Describe your morning routine out loud in English. Day 3. Watch a short English video with English subtitles and repeat one sentence aloud. Day 4. Think in English for 5 full minutes during a walk or chore. Day 5. Write 5 simple sentences about your day in an English journal. Day 6. Record a 1-minute voice note in English about what you did today. Day 7. Plan your whole day in English, from morning to night, just in your head. That's it. Just 7 days. If you follow this, I promise, you'll feel a shift in your brain. It won't be perfect, but you'll feel the difference. Let me show you what's possible. One of my students, Ahmed, took this exact challenge. When he started, he could only speak in short, broken phrases. He always translated in his head. After just 30 days of using the daily habits and tools we've talked about, he stopped translating. He told me, "Now I just talk. I don't think about the grammar. I don't feel stuck. I speak." That's what I want for you. It's not magic. It's practice. And if you stay consistent, even for just 5 to 10 minutes a day, your fluency will grow faster than you think. Let's quickly review what you've learned in this video. You learned why translation slows you down. You discovered how to shift your mindset and think like a native speaker. You built daily habits to replace translation. You found tools that support your English thinking. You learned how to live with English in real-life moments. And now, you have the mindset and challenge to keep going. So here's my final message to you. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. Don't wait for perfection. Practice today. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. But if you think in English every day, even just a little, you'll get there. You're already on your way. And now, it's your turn. What was your favorite tip from today's video? Tell me in the comments. Or even better, write a short sentence in English down below to show you're starting your journey. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends who are learning English too. Let's grow together. Let's stop translating and start thinking in English. See you in the next video. Until then, keep thinking, keep speaking, and as always, happy learning. So now you know, thinking in English is the key to real fluency. No more slow translation, no more fear, just English naturally. So here's your challenge. Try to think in English for 5 minutes every day this week. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try. And when you do, come back and tell us how it went in the comments. I'd love to hear your progress. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more powerful tips coming your way to help you speak English confidently and naturally. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy learning. See you next time.